Bitcoin, the story, future, and its impact on our life. Introduction. Bitcoin, the first decentralized cryptocurrency, has revolutionized the world of finance since its inception in 2009. Created by an unknown person or group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin introduced a peer-to-peer electronic cash system that operates without the need for intermediaries like banks or governments. This article explores the history of Bitcoin, its underlying technology, the potential future of the cryptocurrency, and whether it is beneficial for our lives. The origins of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's story begins with a dissatisfaction toward traditional financial systems. In the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, there was widespread disillusionment with banks and governments, which some blamed for the economic collapse. Nakamoto introduced Bitcoin in a whitepaper titled, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, outlining a vision for a decentralized form of money that would operate independently of central authorities. Bitcoin was designed using blockchain technology, which allows transactions to be verified and recorded on a public ledger. This system ensures transparency, security, and trust without the need for intermediaries. Bitcoin's supply is capped at 21 million coins, ensuring scarcity and protecting it from inflationary pressures typically seen in fiat currencies. The first ever Bitcoin block, known as the Genesis block, was mined by Nakamoto on January 3, 2009. Embedded within this block was a message referencing a newspaper headline, "The Times, the 3rd of January 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks," a clear nod to the financial crisis and the failure of traditional banking systems. The evolution of Bitcoin. Early adoption. In its early days, Bitcoin was primarily used by cryptography enthusiasts and tech-savvy individuals. One of the first documented real-world transactions using Bitcoin occurred in 2010, when programmer Laszlo Hanyecz paid 10,000 BTC for 2 pizzas, an event now celebrated annually as Bitcoin Pizza Day. At that time, the value of Bitcoin was negligible, but this transaction highlighted its potential as a medium of exchange. Bitcoin began to attract attention as a means of transferring value across borders with low fees, particularly in regions where banking infrastructure was underdeveloped or where political instability led to concerns about fiat currency. The Silk Road and controversy. Bitcoin's association with the Silk Road, an online black market that operated on the dark web, raised concerns about the use of the cryptocurrency for illegal activities. The Silk Road allowed users to buy and sell drugs, weapons, and other illicit goods anonymously, with Bitcoin being the primary currency used for transactions. In 2013, the FBI shut down the Silk Road and seized millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, further fueling debate about whether Bitcoin enabled criminal behavior. Despite this, Bitcoin continued to gain legitimacy, with regulators, investors, and institutions beginning to take notice. The 2017 boom and bust. Bitcoin's rise to mainstream recognition came in 2017, when its price skyrocketed from under $1,000 at the beginning of the year to nearly $20,000 by December. This meteoric rise was driven by increased media coverage, growing interest from retail investors, and the introduction of Bitcoin futures contracts by major exchanges like CME Group. However, the surge in value was followed by a sharp decline in 2018, leading many to label Bitcoin as a speculative bubble. Bitcoin's volatility became a focal point of criticism, as its price swings were seen as an obstacle to its adoption as a stable currency. Institutional interest in the 2021 surge. Despite the boom and bust cycle, Bitcoin's potential as a store of value, often compared to digital gold, continued to attract interest. By 2020, institutional investors, hedge funds, and companies began to view Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, especially in the context of central banks printing money during the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2021, Bitcoin saw another dramatic rise in price, reaching an all-time high of over $60,000. Companies like Tesla and MicroStrategy made headlines by adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, and payment platforms such as PayPal and Square started supporting Bitcoin transactions. The technology behind Bitcoin, blockchain. The key innovation behind Bitcoin is blockchain, a decentralized and distributed ledger that records all transactions. A blockchain consists of blocks of data, each containing a list of transactions. Once a block is full, it is linked to the previous block, forming a continuous chain. This ensures that the transaction history is transparent and immutable. Mining and proof-of-work. New Bitcoin transactions are verified through a process called mining, where powerful computers, called miners, solve complex mathematical puzzles to validate transactions and secure the network. This process, known as proof-of-work, requires significant computational resources and energy. Once a miner successfully solves the puzzle, they are rewarded with newly minted Bitcoin, thus incentivizing network participation. However, the energy consumption associated with Bitcoin mining has led to criticism, with concerns over its environmental impact. Bitcoin's energy usage, especially in regions relying on fossil fuels, has sparked debate over the sustainability of proof-of-work and the future of Bitcoin's mining process. The future of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's future is the subject of intense debate among economists, technologists, and financial experts. Here are a few potential paths for Bitcoin. Bitcoin as digital gold. One of the most prominent narratives around Bitcoin is its potential to become a store of value akin to gold. Due to its limited supply and decentralized nature, Bitcoin is seen by some as an ideal hedge against inflation and a safe haven during times of economic uncertainty. If this narrative continues to gain traction, Bitcoin could become a long-term asset held by institutional investors, much like gold. Mainstream adoption as a currency. While Bitcoin was initially envisioned as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, its high transaction fees and slow confirmation times have made it less practical for everyday purchases. Nevertheless, ongoing improvements in Bitcoin's technology, such as the Lightning Network, which facilitates faster and cheaper transactions, aim to address these issues and pave the way for wider adoption. Some countries, like El Salvador, have already adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, with the government promoting its use alongside traditional currencies. However, Bitcoin's price volatility remains a major hurdle to its widespread use as a day-to-day currency. Regulation and legal status. As Bitcoin grows in popularity, governments and regulators are paying closer attention to its use and potential risks. Some countries have embraced Bitcoin, while others, like China, have taken a hard stance against cryptocurrency trading and mining. Regulation is likely to play a significant role in Bitcoin's future. Clear and balanced regulation could legitimize Bitcoin and encourage broader adoption by protecting investors and addressing concerns about its use in illegal activities. Environmental concerns and sustainability. The environmental impact of Bitcoin mining has become a growing concern. As more countries aim to reduce their carbon footprints, the sustainability of Bitcoin's proof-of-work mechanism is being questioned. Some propose transitioning to alternative consensus mechanisms, such as proof-of-stake, which are less energy-intensive. Bitcoin proponents argue that renewable energy can be used to power mining operations, with some mining companies already setting up operations in regions with abundant clean energy, such as Iceland and Texas. 5. Is Bitcoin good for our life? The question of whether Bitcoin is good for our lives is complex and depends on various factors. Here are a few pros and cons. Benefits of Bitcoin. Financial inclusion. Bitcoin offers financial services to people in regions where traditional banking systems are underdeveloped or inaccessible. It allows for cross-border transactions without the need for intermediaries, which can empower people in developing countries. Decentralization. Bitcoin operates independently of central banks and governments, providing individuals with greater control over their money and reducing the risk of currency manipulation. Protection against inflation. In countries experiencing hyperinflation or political instability, Bitcoin can serve as a store of value, offering protection against the devaluation of local currencies. Innovation and investment opportunities. Bitcoin has opened up new opportunities for investors and has spurred innovation in the broader blockchain and cryptocurrency space. Risks and drawbacks of Bitcoin volatility. Bitcoin's price volatility makes it an unreliable medium of exchange for daily transactions. Sudden price swings can result in significant losses for investors and users. Environmental impact. The energy consumption associated with Bitcoin mining has raised concerns about its sustainability, particularly in light of global efforts to combat climate change. Regulatory risks. The lack of clear regulatory frameworks in many countries creates uncertainty around Bitcoin's legal status. Governments may impose restrictions or bans on its use, affecting its adoption. Criminal use. While Bitcoin itself is neutral, it has been used for illegal activities on the dark web. This association has tarnished its reputation in some circles and has led to calls for stricter oversight. Conclusion. Bitcoin's journey from a niche digital currency to a global financial phenomenon has been marked by innovation, controversy, and speculation. While its future remains uncertain, there is no doubt that Bitcoin has changed the way we think about money, value, and decentralized technologies. Whether Bitcoin is good for our lives depends on how it is used and developed in the future. For some, it represents financial freedom and a hedge against inflation, while for others, it poses environmental and regulatory concerns. As Bitcoin continues to evolve, it will likely play an important role in shaping the future of finance and technology.